Usually Wild Card Weekend features one marquee game, and Dan, if we have to point to one, it's got to be Seahawks at Redskins alongside executive editor Dan Arkish. I'm Eric Edholm. We're going to break down that game that should close out what looks to be a terrific Wild Card Weekend, but this might be the marquee game. You've got the two rookie quarterbacks. Let's start there. Russell Wilson, RG3. It's a tremendous battle. I know we had Dalton Yates last year. This one pretty much far exceeds that one.
Oh, it's really going to be amazing to see two quarterbacks that are equally dangerous running as well as receiving. I think a real interesting thing is that the Seahawks defense has kind of prepped for this game a little bit because they faced both Colin Kaepernick and Cam Newton with similar styles to RG3, so that could be a feather in their cap. They also get their secondary back in its entirety with Brandon Browner returning from his 4-game suspension. So I like the way the Seahawks shape up defensively facing RG3, but boy, that running back, Morris, I think he could possibly give the Seahawks defense some problems up the gut.
Yeah, only a handful of teams have run well against the Seahawks. Most of them power teams like the 49ers. And we'll see what that obviously looks like. Morris has been the key for the Redskins. I think you'd say, Griffin, as great as he is, I think that power running gives that triple threat. It's either RG3 running, Morris running, or the deep pass down the field. But I want to talk about the other side of the ball in Wilson, just how impressive he has been. I mean, only 11 quarterbacks have started playoff games since 1966. These two are obviously going head-to-head, but he's probably the least expected of the group to get in there. What has been the difference for him this year? What has made him so special in sort of commanding this offense in recent games?
Well, they took a very careful approach with him, and they kept the training wheels on right up until that Bear game, where he had that drive at the end to win it. And since then, they've basically said, it's your show, Russell. We're going to go with this read option. And defenses have had to worry about either him running or Marshawn Lynch running, and that's a big thing. And also at the same time, though, he's developed more of a passing game with weapons like the tight ends, Zach Miller and Anthony McCoy, and Sidney Rice and Golden Tate have been solid. And then there's Doug Baldwin, who's been hurt most of the year, but lately has come on in that slot role. So the offense is really well developed. Now I think a real key to watch, this offensive line, which has been excellent all year, it got gashed last week for 6 sacks by the Rams. That's as many as they had given up the previous 4 weeks. I think Jim Haslett is going to bring the house, so that's going to be a key there to see if this offensive line can pass protect better.
Yeah, it's a Redskins defense, Dan, that loves the pressure. They obviously love to get after people and maybe mask some of those secondary issues. They cover pretty well on the outside. The safeties occasionally do give up the big play. It's down to prediction time. I want to hear who you've got. It's a fascinating game. You see it on both sides. Who do you think is going to ultimately win this game?
I'm going to go with the Seahawks, even though they play much better at home on the road, but I like them in a very, very close game.
It's not great video, but I've got the Seahawks too. I think the Redskins' magical run ends, and people will get to see just how good the Seahawks team is. If they can make plays with those wide receivers, I think they can win this game and move on to the next round. For all your wild card previews, keep checking back to ProFootballWeekly.com, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel as well.